Welcome to Reel Filmmaking. My name's Corey, and today I'm going to be talking about picture styles and how to use them on the Canon 60D. Now, essentially what a picture style is it's a setting on your camera that you can change, which basically tells your camera how to process the images that it is taking in to create a video or a photo. A simple way to think about this is as your camera is processing the images that you are taking, whether it be photo or video, it is internally processing how to do things like contrast and how to deal with things like the highlights and the shadows, or how much saturation to put into an image. And when you play back your video specifically, your picture style really controls what you see. So for instance, when you open your camera, you can see that there's the options to have a standard picture profile, neutral, portrait, landscape, and essentially each of these controls different parameters that help to create a specific type of look. So today I want to share with you the 3 picture styles that I use most when shooting with the Canon 60D and have helped me get the best looking video with this camera. The first picture profile that I use is the standard picture profile. And I think this is a picture profile that most people when they're starting out doing photos and videos will probably lean towards. This has high amounts of contrast, good saturation, it gives you that Canon color that so many people talk about. And honestly, if you know how to compose an image, if you understand principles of lighting, composition, things like that, this picture profile will give you really good looking images. For people who like the Canon color, that's a very prominent thing in this picture profile. And it looks really good. Some of the things that you can achieve with this, it definitely, of the 3 picture styles I'm talking about, is the most contrasty, the most saturated, kind of the most vibrant with color. The people I think who will really use this picture profile the most are people who don't want to do a ton of color grading in post. They don't want to mess with trying to figure out skin tones or get lights exactly right and stuff. And so when you put on this picture profile, this will take you 75% of the way. And so for that reason, it tends to be the picture profile when I'm just going to shoot, maybe some B-roll or clips even for YouTube, or I'm just going to take pictures for fun. This will be the picture profile that I will set my 60D on. The second picture profile is actually the one that I use the most, and it is the neutral picture profile. So this basically takes the standard picture profile and it kind of rolls off the high amounts of contrast, some of the saturation, and it kind of gives a little bit more evenness to the shadows and the highlights. It doesn't completely balance them, but I have found that in the video that I shoot on the 60D and even the M50, it just kind of gives me a more soft look. And so this profile is really nice when I shoot B-roll or I shoot videos like this where I want to do a little bit of tweaking in post-production. I don't want to do a ton, not like heavy grading, but if I want to bump up the exposure, if I want to put a little bit of saturation into specific parts of the video or the image, this works really well for me. So like I said, I tend to use this picture profile the most when I shoot with the 60D, and I've been very happy with it. The third picture profile is the Technicolor Cine style picture profile. So this is actually a picture profile that you can load onto your camera. You can go to Technicolor's website and download this picture profile, and I actually might do a follow-up video on how to do that on your camera. But once you get it downloaded and loaded onto your camera, this picture profile basically gives you the closest looking image to almost like a raw image or a really flat like C-log type of image that is a lot more malleable in post-production. Basically, it really flattens everything out, not so that it's gray, but it gets it a lot closer to just a median value, balancing everything the best it can. So it wants to balance highlights and shadows, saturation of colors, and I think the person who really would benefit from shooting Cine style is somebody who wants to tweak and push kind of the look of their footage a little bit more. I generally tend to not shoot in Cine style. The exception has been like when I'm doing a specific project, like a short film where I know I want a specific look and I want a little bit more room in post-production to be able to push a little bit of a grade. I want higher contrast, or I want to be able to bump the highlights or specific things like that. That's when Cine style is super helpful. It gives you a lot more control than neutral or standard, and you can really achieve some pretty cool looks out of your 60D with this picture profile. So I hope this video has been helpful in just understanding a little bit more about how picture profiles work and how you can switch between them to help you achieve different looks depending on what type of videos that you're shooting. If you enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to Reel Filmmaking for more content like this coming on a weekly basis. And until next time, keep making movies and watching movies, and I'll see you on Reel Filmmaking.